Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 weekly reset video. My name is Story, and today is April 7th. I know it very well because it's my birthday. What did you get me? Nothing? Figures. Anyway, we are running up until the 14th of April because that's how things work around these parts. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing very well indeed. Let's have a look at what we've got to do in Destiny 2 this week then. Well, this is the tower map if you're new to the game. Welcome. Pull up a pew and pour yourself a brew. A couple of things to explain. Number one, I haven't played the game for a while. Like, this corona pandemic has got me very busy with work. I work remotely from home, dealing with the virus. I hope you're having a safe time and everyone is well. I do wish all the very best. But anyway, time for playing games has been reduced to very, very little. No time for grinding here. However, I'm going to do this video for you, especially the weekly reset right here and right now. Okay, but anyway, new to the game, welcome. This is the tower map. Lots of vendors around the place. What are vendors? Well, these little icons, if we have a look at this one, Master Rahul. If you can pronounce it in that kind of way, then I will be very grateful. Anyway, he's the Cryptarch. You can decode things with him. He's blue. He's very nice. And that is a vendor. There was plenty of vendors. If we hop on over to our favorite Gunsmith, spare parts vendor challenge, we've got a weekly here. Complete Gunsmith bounties, 8 of them, and that'll get you some powerful gear at tier 1. And it's all about getting that powerful gear. Okay, so 8 bounties completed for the weekly, powerful gear at tier 1. Same thing with Shax over in the Crucible. 8 bounties completed, powerful gear at tier 1. Gear comes in different levels, different tiers, tier 1, 2, 3, and pinnacle stuff. Pinnacle being the highest, tier 1 being the lowest. Okay? That's the way that it works. Same with Zavala. I'm even forgetting the names, man. It's getting really upsetting. But anyway, Zavala at the Vanguard, 8 bounties. Same with the Drifter over here. And then we've got the clan rewards there. If you're a member of a clan, you can earn XP for powerful gear at tier 2. How's about that then? Those are the vendors. There's loads of them throughout the Destiny universe, and they're well worth a visit to frequent yourself with their wares, challenges, bounties and quests and things like that. Anyway, let's start off by having a look at the Vanguard playlist. This is your director screen. This is the Vanguard playlist. We've got a bunch of things to do here. We've got daily heroic story missions, replaying story missions from the campaign. That is what you'll be doing there. You don't earn any specific loot as per se, but you will get some XP and nostalgia, of course. Then we've got Vanguard Strikes. The weekly here is complete strikes using the same subclass element as the currently active Elemental Burn. How's about it? Strikes completed, 3 of, powerful gear at tier 1. If you want to know what the Elemental Burn is for the week, it happens to be Solar Singe. So equip your solar subclasses, get in there and complete those strikes. The daily modifiers are Grounded and Brawler. These rotate on a 24-hour basis, and the Solar Singe rotates on the weekly resets, and that's today. That's today. So next week it'll change. So there you go, Solar Singe. Then we've got the Nightfall, the Ordeal. When I'm hoping the Bungie API is actually up and running this time, because I like to be able to give you the details. The Ordeal this week is, drum roll please, Bruthold. There you go. So the weekly is complete the Nightfall and the Ordeal activities. Higher difficulties grant the most efficient progress. Run that through a bunch of times and you'll get your powerful gear at tier 1. However, complete the Nightfall Ordeal with a team score above 100,000 points and you will get yourself some pinnacle loot, ladies and gentlemen, and you will feel accomplished. Moving on over to the Nightfall other playlist, the other Nightfalls. We've got a selection of 3 to choose from. This week it is the Garden World, Strange Terrain, and the Corrupted. Now these 3 strikes, these 3 Nightfalls, I should say, they each have some specific loot that will drop if you happen to grind the strike over and over and over again. For example, if you grind the Garden World, you have your chance at getting the universal wave function, a nice little exotic. Strange Terrain will get you the Braytech Osprey rocket launcher, and the Corrupted will get you the Horror's Least pulse rifle. Now, do remember you have to grind these strikes over and over again. The more you do it, the more your chances are increased that one of these specific bits of gear will drop. Anyway, that is the Nightfall playlist. That is the Ordeal for the week. Moving on, what have we got in Gambit? Well, it is the Reckoning. Will start off with a cooperative environment, shall we say. This is from 1 to 4 players, and you've got matchmaking. I would recommend going in with 4 players if you can. And it's got 3 levels of flavor. Tier 1, 2, and 3 all offer different things, and they tie in with your quests for your moats and whatnot, your moat making machine. There is a Singe for the week. It's Void Singe for the Reckoning, and then today's modifier is Heavyweight. So if you're grinding those Gambit weapons from the Season of the Drifter, then that is the activity that you'll be involved in. Then we've got your Gambit Vanilla and Gambit Deluxe. If you complete 3 games of either or of these playlists, you'll get yourself some powerful gear at Tier 2, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that fantastic? That is your Gambit playlist. Moving on to Crucible. What have we got then this week? Well, we've got 2 types of playlists. We've got the Rotary playlist at the top, and this week we have Momentum Control and Showdown. Okay, so if you complete 4 games of these rotator matches, then you'll get yourself some powerful gear at Tier 1. Then we've got the core playlists. This consists of Rumble, Control, Elimination, Survival, Freelance Survival, and Classic Mix. So 4 games of those core matches will get you some powerful gear at Tier 1. Then there's private matches as well if you want to get in there and practice with friends and family and all that kind of thing and sweat. Sweat till it rolls off your foreheads. Your foreheads. Anyway, what else have we got then? Well, we've got a Flashpoint, which happens to be this week on Mars. Lovely jubbly Mars. What is a Flashpoint? Well, public events will spawn. Incidentally, there's non-spawning at the moment, but they will between the Glacial Drift and the Braycheck Futurescape. Okay? If you want to see your progress, if we have a look at Anna Bray here, there she is. Isn't she lovely? She will tell you how much progress you've got towards completing your Flashpoint this week. So there it is. Activities completed, and that will get you some powerful gear at Tier 1. Looting lost sectors will also get you a small amount of activity bonus, killing the boss and looting the chest as well. While we're on Mars, there's Escalation Protocol. It's a golden oldie. 7 wave horde mode that has the chance of dropping some weapons. This week it happens to be the shotgun. If you're after the Argulo shotgun, this is the week to be grinding out Escalation Protocol, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, moving on, what other activities we've got? Well, if we go over to the moon, then there are other activities. I love the moon. I miss the moon, rather. We've got Nightmare Hunts, for example. We've got a weekly complete any Nightmare Hunt activities. All difficulty tiers grant progress. 3 of powerful gear at Tier 1. And then the weekly is complete a Nightmare Hunt on Master difficulty for the pinnacle gear, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I have been boozled. I have been bugged out here. Anyway, so you got Nightmare Hunts. You know what you're doing there. Speaking of pinnacle activities, we've got Pit of Heresy, another dungeon right here. That will get you some pinnacle loot should you complete it. And then, of course, there's the Garden of Salivation raid for your pinnacle loot. We've also got some vendors down the bottom here. Nightmare Slayer. Defeat the nightmares in Sorrow's Harbor, which is very similar to Escalation Protocol. That's over here. Spawn in here, go over there, and there are many of these altars. Then if you defeat the nightmares, the big baddie things, then there's 7 waves of that as well. Or is there 9? I can't remember. But anyway, there's waves. If you defeat the final boss, you're guaranteed. There's no RNG here. You're guaranteed a bit of loot. Depending on the boss, depends on what loot is dropping. It's a sniper rifle, a slug shotgun, and a rocket launcher. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of stuff to be doing on the moon. Isn't it amazing? Right then, what else have we got to do to play with? Well, we like to, we're going to go to the tower and have a look at the Gunsmith stuff. Be back in a moment. There we are. We're back in the room. Let's go over to the Gunsmith. We like the Gunsmith because it's a good way to explain a few things. So here we go. We've got weekly bounties from this gentleman here. We've got daily bounties and additional bounties. Pretty much all the vendors that have this array of bounties have weekly, daily, and additionals. So we've got weeklies now. If you complete these, you get a bit of XP glimmer, upgrade modules, and helium filaments, so planetary resources rather. And that is the 2 weeklies that you get. Then the dailies from the Gunsmith will award mod components and enhancement cores. The additional bounties will award XP only, but if you hop on over to the Crucible, Vanguard, or Gambit vendors, the additional bounties will award bright dust, which you can spend in the Eververse store. So it's worth having a look at that. Also, the weeklies for the Crucible and Vanguard and Gambit will award 200 of bright dust for completing these weeklies. So that's how you can get away with getting a lot of stuff from the Eververse without parting with your peanut. So there you go. What else we got? Material exchange. Gunsmith has a armor mod and a weapon mod. each day. These refresh on the daily reset. So today we've got machine gun scav and counterbalance stock. There's also stuff to swap for stuff if you can afford it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to wrap up the video now by having a wee look at the Eververse store, which is just over here. If I scrape my chin up against this wall here, and we're going to have a look at the stock, being as we've just promoted the Eververse with the Bright Dust. We've got Hit the Bag emotes here. Hit the bag, bit of boxing practice. Isn't that fantastic? We've got an Orb Weaver shell. Look at that. It is easy math. Just part with that cash. Lord of the Hunt, that is weapon ornament for the Iron Batter bow, should you have ground that out. Then we've got Taunt and Flaunt. There's all these dance moves. Look at that, burning all the calories in a stylish manner. Then we've got the Cabal entrance. That is a transmat effect. And then Itsy Bitsy Spider has come back. That is an ornament for the Recluse SMG. How's about that then? And then in the featured section, we've got some consumables. We've got some shaders. We've got only the Penitent Pass. Always reminds me of Indiana Jones. A weapon ornament for, what is it, the last edition. Big red button. Are you going to push it? Are you going to push that? You can just wait all day. And then there is the Motive Force. Cabal-themed Sparrow there. And then, of course, we've got the seasonal stuff, ornaments. We've got finishers. We've got emotes. We've got galore for you to be having a look at here. Spend your money on these beautiful things. And then there's the archive stuff from the previous seasons. And then we've got Bright Dust. This is where you can spend your hard-earned Bright Dust from grinding things out. This week, we've got Tip of the Spear, Sparrow. There is the Solar Sail ship. Look at that. And then there is some Don the Shades. Just deal with that. I might have to get that. I have very little Bright Dust, but I think that's a worthy spend. Patty Cake. If you want to play some Patty Cake with your friends, there it is. And then there's the Timeline Zero ornament for the World Line Zero exotic sword. We've got some class items, not class items, but character-specific, class-specific bits of armor from the Eververse store, as well as class-specific ornament. So we've got Nano Redux Hunter ornament there for the Raiden Flux exotic chest piece. And then there's some more consumables, shaders, and transmat effects. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Stay safe out there. I'm going to say it again. Stay at home. Respect the quarantine. We've got to keep this corona ding-dong down by staying away from each other and keeping our distance and minimizing that spread. So stay safe, stay healthy. I wish you all the very best. Have a great week in Destiny 2. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and remember, smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for breakfast.